Hi, thanks for checking out American Spa and Pool Pros. We provide liability insurance for pool service professionals. Whether your business is pool repair, builders, remodelers, plasterers, or just about any service for swimming pools, we have a plan for you. Our customers love us and they keep coming back year after year. We're licensed to insure your pool business in more states than any other pool service association in America. We offer great coverage and competitive rates. There's a flexible plan that's perfect to protect your business and your livelihood. Have a question? Just ask. We look forward to you becoming a member of ASAPP today.
I'm Stephanie, and I'm a San Diego State student, and I am a CalCoast member. I would honestly consider the people who work at CalCoast my friends. Like when I'm walking up, they're smiling and still respectful, really kind, but they're just happy, and they really seem happy to be doing their job. Book skills are important, but they're temporary. Life skills are forever. So what CalCoast teaches me with handling my money, I'm going to know that and use that for the rest of my life.
Blew out my ACL,
pulled my shoulder out,
broke my collarbone. I had a Liz Frank injury.
You play long enough and it's going to happen to you.
I heard a lot of good things about UC San Diego health system.
The hospital, the doctors.
Gave me a lot of confidence going into the surgery.
A good experience for me.
I was able to get back to the sports I love.
It's always nice to relate to a doctor when they've been an athlete.
I wouldn't trust anybody else with my knee. Welcome inside the Valley View Casino Center where the San Diego Sockers are getting set for their final home match of the MASL regular season against Atletico Baja. Mark Serber alongside Nate Abarea. And Nate, both of these teams already on their way to the playoffs, and you can understand why. Tonight we have a battle of the third and fourth best offenses in Major Arena Soccer League.
That's sure to be a game filled with firepower and a bit of a local derby match as well. These teams just separated by about 20 minutes, 15 miles or so. San Diego to Tijuana. Of course, there's a little border in between us, but that ain't no thing. SD and TJ, sister cities in so many ways, and great atmosphere tonight. A couple of players on the soccer side who hail from Tijuana, Baja, California, so big games for those couple of individuals, but the offensive firepower that you speak of, definitely one of the main things that this big crowd here inside the Valley View Casino Center is looking forward to this evening.
Well, they're expecting in between 5,000 to 7,000, and it's filling up. It's really loud in here. Great atmosphere. Of course, the deep end always do a wonderful job. And Nate, the San Diego Sockers, by way of head-to-head and other tiebreakers, have already clinched the Pacific Division. But as they head into their penultimate game, a win tonight, and they will win it outright.
That's a big way to just take care of business tonight, an easy way to take care of business tonight. It's the main focus of all the Sockers players. Great seeing some of their posts on social media this afternoon saying, hey, task is quite simple. We win, it's ours.
And the Sockers, coming into tonight, have made this place a fortress all season long, looking to end the home portion of their season 9-1 here at the Valley View Casino Center.
Yeah, that one loss was quite the heartbreaker to Kansas City. They almost had that perfect 10-0 here at home in the regular season, but you know, 9-1's how it's got to go. And then you talk to Phil Salvaggio, 9-1, you bask in the glory of 9-1 if you win tonight, and then 9-1 goes right out the window. Then it's all about the playoffs.
And for the Sockers, the big thing is building up that momentum going into the playoffs. You need to get these wins. You want to have a good win in front of these home fans so that they'll come back here for the Pacific Division Final on March 12th. And then, of course, you want to build that momentum going into Tacoma. And we'll get back to that in a second as we're on the verge of the national anthems here, but what's going on underneath the Sockers in the Pacific Division is absolutely fascinating with contrasting forms for Tacoma and Ontario. And that match for Tacoma against San Diego Sockers could be life and death for them, as Ontario is on a 4-game winning streak, has won 7 of their last 8, beating Chicago today by a score of 7-5. Tacoma, on the other hand, has lost 6 of their last 7.
Ooh. 6 of 7. That's a Tacoma team that we've seen play some of the finest indoor soccer in the MASL this season. Teams get streaky, and that can be a good and bad thing. And right now, it's a very bad thing for those boys up in the Pacific Northwest in Tacoma. But who knows what they can do to turn things around and try to get in themselves late on here this season.
Well, both these teams coming off of losses in games earlier this weekend. The Sockers losing last night 9-3 in Sonora. Well, it was a heartbreaker for Atletico Baja up in Turlock on Friday night, losing 6-5 with 10.2 seconds left in the first overtime. So both teams looking to put things right tonight. For now, we're going to step aside and listen to the playing of the national anthems, starting with the national anthem of Mexico. It's the San Diego Sockers versus Atletico Baja, and the crowd is amped for this one at the Valley View Casino Center. Mark Serber alongside Nate Aberea. The San Diego Sockers come in with a record of 12-6, 6-2 in the Pacific Division, facing off against Southwestern Division side Atletico Baja, who come in at 10-9, playing their last game of the regular season. And Nate, like we said, there's going to be goals tonight.
Going to be goals tonight. Phil Salvaggio hoping that there's a lot of quality defense as well on his side. And we've seen quality defense from this Sockers team inside the Valley View Casino Center. We've seen them shut down some of the most explosive offensive attacks in this entire league. I talk about mainly that 5-2 win against Soles de Sonora last month when the boys from Hermosillo had nothing doing attacking. Were actually shut out for 55 minutes, the highest scoring offense in the entire league. So when you talk to Coach, when you talk to Salvaggio, when you talk to this entire staff, they don't necessarily want to hear as much about the high-flying end-to-end attacks. They want an organized soccer game. But I'll tell you what, we need to remember that sports are, at the end of the day, they're also entertainment. And there is a massive crowd here on hand this evening, talking 5,000 to 7,000 estimated here inside the Valley View Casino Center this evening. We'll get a final stat on that attendance number later tonight, but these fans want to see the MASL at its finest. And with these two teams hailing from these local cities of Tijuana and San Diego, we very well could have some explosive soccer on our hands this evening and send all these people home happy, hopefully with a Sockers win for just about everybody in attendance.
And despite the 9 goals given up in Sonora last night, the Sockers do have the second best defense in the MASL. Just 86 goals conceded over 18 games. Only Baltimore has a better defense. They've given up just 66 throughout the season so far. So perhaps something to really look forward to. But for the San Diego Sockers, it's about building that momentum in the final home game of the regular season and going to Tacoma to end the season on March 4th, and also getting themselves set up for the playoffs. Remember what Phil Salvaggio told us earlier in the year, in any game where we've given up more than 5 goals, we've lost.
Yeah, it's a pretty important stat there from Coach, and what these Sockers can do this evening to really make sure that they pave a pathway to success. And just finishing up here on the festive atmosphere inside the Valley View Casino Center right now, as we've got the ceremonial opening kick and parade of champions leaving the field, deep end banging the drums, getting into full voice as fans continue to file in here to the sports arena of the Valley View Casino Center. And a quick shout out to that national anthem from the students from Crawford High School over in City Heights here in San Diego. And quick shout out to the Crawford High School boys soccer team who won their first league championship in 10 years. And this Tuesday night will actually be playing in the semifinals against the San Diego Jewish Academy. Cannot wait for that game to be taking place over at Lincoln High School here in San Diego. That Crawford team, 21 players, 13 different nationalities, Mark. Refugees, immigrants, Muslims, Christians, all together for the beautiful game. Shout out to Crawford High School and a beautiful rendition of the national anthem from those students from Crawford. The Crawford Colts representing El Himno Nacional de Mexico being played just before it. This is a multicultural event. This is beautiful what we have on our hands here this evening. And talk about festive. Fans just keep coming in.
Well, great story, like you said, how soccer breaks down so many barriers. And, of course, so many interpersonal relationships between these two teams. A lot of these guys have played together, have grown up in the San Diego or Tijuana area. So this is going to be a great match tonight as Tijuana, the Atletico Baja side, looking to finish above 500. They're at 10-9 coming into tonight. They know that they are going to play Soles de Sonora in the Southwest Division final as they finish second behind them no matter what happens tonight. But this is such a great story. Atletico Baja, in just its second year, has already made the playoffs both times around.
Made the playoffs both times, and that's a tough thing to just have in the back of your mind. Hey, no matter what we do tonight, we got to play the boys from Hermosillo. We got to play the team that was, an overtime goal away from being crowned champions in 2015-16 in their inaugural season last year. And a great little rivalry developing between those teams, and they're definitely the team sniffing upset Atletico Baja when it comes to that first-round playoff affair with Soles. And right as we're talking about players with familiarity and just almost family-like atmosphere this evening, for some of these guys, obviously as soon as the opening whistle blows, the opening horn sounds, competition takes over and that familial vibe might go out the window. But right as we're looking down and seeing Eddie Velez down there, the native of Tijuana, Mexico, shaking hands with just about every Atletico Baja player. Eddie Velez knowing so many of these guys and going back with so many of these players. And as you said, Mark, so many of these guys on both sides. Elijah Galbraith-Knapp is having a great conversation with Eli earlier this week, actually suiting up with Atletico Baja last year, knowing so many of these players. And it's soccer really just encompassed here this evening, and this local community encompassed, and what this relationship between Tijuana and San Diego really means. So many of these players familiar with one another, and cannot wait for these teams to go head-to-head. This is going to be a fun one.
San Diego 2-all all time against Atletico Baja. They won last year 8-1 here on December 10th of 2015, and then December 27th won in Tijuana 11-5. So San Diego looking to continue their dominance. They are in their all white, while Atletico Baja in their all blue with white trim. And for San Diego, you talk about Eli Galbraith-Knapp coming into this lineup, as is Scotty Martin as well.
Big Scotty back. Always great to have the veteran presence of Scotty Martin. Such a fan favorite for this team. But you talk to Scotty Martin, he loves his relationship with the fans up at the deep end and all the kids in attendance, known as a real family man. But he doesn't want to just be known as a fan favorite family man. He wants to be known as a guy that can contribute. So look for Scotty Martin to really give us all this evening.
And Boris Pardo continues his running goal in the absence of Chris Toth, who is with the U.S. Soccer Beach national team. Lost to Panama 6-4 in the quarterfinals of the CONCACAF Championship Tournament. But in that match, Chris Toth had 2 goals as we are underway between the San Diego Sockers and Atletico Baja. And right away, it's Escobar clear out of bounds. And so the ball's going to come back to the top of the arc. So an early opportunity for the San Diego Sockers.
Well, Scotty Martin showing the athleticism early there with a clean jump up and over the boards back to the Sockers bench. Fantastic stuff. Young and able, Scotty Martin.
And so a chance now for Craig Childs, who had all 3 goals in the loss to Sonora last night. And he plays it off, and the San Diego Sockers open the scoring. Luan Salas Oliveira picks out the corner quite beautifully.
LSO from the pride of Poway, 13 seconds, 1-0 Sockers, drawn up to perfection, executed even better. How about you now, LSO? Look at the emotion. Said it was going to be a fun night, plenty of firepower, plenty of offense. 13 seconds, first goal.
The former Rookie of the Year plays with such passion, such joy. 28 years old. He's been a pro since 17 in Brazil when he joined the professional futsal leagues there. You can't ask for a better finish. You could ask for a better throw, though, as he can't get it over the net.
I'm sure these Atletico Baja players are loving this.
Oh, they're fine with that, as they need some time to recapture their thoughts and just recuperate a bit. Now we're ready to get back underway.
Hey, we said it's entertainment. At the end of the day, remember, there is an entertainment aspect to all this.
So a 1-0 lead for the Sockers, and they're looking for more here as they steal it back right away, and this is Topete. Loose ball in the midfield, and it comes all the way back to Pardo.
I was going to say, Mark, you can sense this right now. You can sense this early energy from the Sockers team. Love the attitude from Matt Clare there moments ago. Sockers players are flying early.
135 goals now for the San Diego Sockers, just 3 away from matching last year's total and from tying Dallas, who's the second best scoring team in the MASL. Of course, no chance of catching Solis de Sonora. 216 goals scored this season.
That's outrageous. I mean, that's unreal.
When we talk about the progress of the Sockers, there's another marker of it. So that one dangerously played across goal, and something might be on here for Atletico. The chance is over for Vieja. He plays it into the middle, but well stationed is Cesar Cerda. And Atletico will press the reset button. Minute 15 seconds gone. San Diego scored just 13 seconds into the game.
Oh,
that's a beautiful move. And Castro goes on. It passes back to him just beyond him. And this is Learman.
216 goals for Solis de Sonora. That's the team that awaits Atletico Baja in the first round of the playoffs. I mean, you got that in the back of your mind. That's a daunting thought.
They'll start that series in Tijuana at the Unidad Deportivo on March 8th. And then the second match will be played in Hermosillo at the Centro de Usos Multiplace on the 11th, as that's a great sliding challenge by Martin.
That's actually Galbraith-Knapp down there.
Oh, apologies.
Wearing the number 13. He's had such a struggle with injury since signing with the Sockers for this season. Great to see Eli out there, and great to see the early energy from the San Diego native. Oh,
and Escoto just barely missing his first goal against his former club.
Woo-hoo. The other TJ native out there, Mr. Escoto, almost lining one up beautifully.
Castor. The San Diego defense well stationed, forcing Baja to go back with it.
Such a great feeling, Mark, for everybody in this arena, for these Sockers players, for the staff, for everybody here. We'll get back to that in a second as Loot knocks this one away. Ooh.
And then the sliding challenge comes in. Viela, the guilty party.
They exchange a brief little hug there. Talut wants to get this thing back underway quick. He does so. But you look up the far side stands from where we're positioned right now, and you see it jam-packed all the way up to the back row, all the way up to the rafters on that far side. Just such a great feeling for everybody involved with the soccer's team to look up there and see these stands filled the way they are tonight. This is old school. This is getting back to the glory of the late 80s and the early 90s. And they packed 13 to 16,000 inside this place. The old MISL, bringing it back here in 2017. You got to love it.
Viela, 24-year-old in his second season out of Ontario, gets it back to Learman, who finds Escobar. Escobar sends it in the corner, but Atletico's making changes.
Yeah, that was just a dump to get a line change there.
This is Cebero. Assessing his options. And gets it right back from Gutierrez. This is a good run from Cebero. Manuel Rojo.
One of the finer moments from LSO there.
And the shot is blocked by Velez, who played for the old Revolucion de Tijuana before coming over to the San Diego Sockers. Was teammates with the number 14 for Atletico Baja, Oscar Espinoza. And Velez continuing to chase. And headed away by Childs. Look at the defense. Apologies, that's Gonzalez. Great defense nevertheless.
Oh, there's Childs. Flying up. He heard you, Mark.
There's great defense from him as well.
Not great defense from Mr. Pardo.
So the ball will come to the top of the arc, and perhaps a chance for Atletico Baja to give the San Diego Sockers a taste of their own medicine. Two Atletico players presiding over this one. And it's rolled back to Ernesto. Luna gets it out wide, and getting down quickly is Pardo. Still work for him to do. Cerbero, his shot is blocked. Pardo again with the save, and great team defense from goalkeeper and defender Luan Salas Oliveira and Pardo coming up big there for the Sockers.
Brilliantly worked initially on that set piece. Thought it was maybe a little bit too elaborate, but it actually ended up with a great chance on goal there and a couple delicious opportunities on the rebounds. And boys from TJ just couldn't get anything out of it. Encouraging stuff, though, there from Atletico Baja, showing that they're most definitely still in this game early on, despite the hot start from the Sockers. Only 1-0. The Sockers certainly seem to be the more energetic side early on in this game.
And this is Martin winning the free kick.
Whoa.
He's got to be careful. Was not at all happy with the fisticuffs from Viela. Claiming there was a bit of an elbow there, but
no big deal. Back to business. Handbags.
5 minutes gone in the first quarter. 1-0 San Diego. Matt Clare trying to get on the ball. Push forward for Sarai. And Cesar Cerda rather received a push in the back well after the ball had gone. And spotted by the referee all the way on the far side.
Well, okay then.
So we know what kind of night it's going to be between these two teams. This is Cerda.
We're hoping that fine offensive firepower and ample creativity is what shines this evening.
And a 2-on-1 could be developing here. Claire screaming forward in the center, and Tovar can't get it to him in time.
Great tackle. Great tackle down there. Didn't see that was. I think it was Daniel Viela. It was Viela, indeed.
This time the foul will go against San Diego. 1-0 lead, just over 5.5 minutes gone in the first quarter. Luan Salas Oliveira from Craig Childs. Escobar plays it into the corner. And good defending from Juan Topete.
Yeah, you'll take anything to get the first goal in a game and jump out to that 1-0 lead. Just a nice extra cherry on top of everything when it's as pretty as that one from LSO. But
Claire has his pocket picked, and it's played wide, and the rebound is stopped, and Pardo with another big save. This time denying Viela. Castor. Still going Castor.
Got to be a foul.
And that's a good work from the rookie out of the Jasmine Club. in the local Tijuana Football Rapido leagues. So it's Mario Cerberos who's over it, a 23-year-old in his second season with the club. Cerberos gets it across. Learman's shot is blocked, and then the rebound hammered off the glass. And out of bounds, it'll be a kick in for the San Diego Sockers with 8 minutes, 46 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. Galbraith Knapp playing his first game since November 11th. As Nate said, played last season for Atletico Baja.
Well done, Talute.
Brilliant skill from Talute. Good distribution as well, looking into the corner. A swing and a miss, and something still might be on here for Velez. Learman's able to play out of it, and Baja will go the other way. And it's a 3-on-1. Learman picks his head up and tried to pick out the corner, but good reactions from Boris Pardo.
Not positive reactions from the two teammates waiting in the center there. Both screaming, saying, selfish, selfish, come on. I probably would have shot as well.
This is Escoto. Announced his arrival to the Major Arena Soccer League last season with 26 goals and 11 assists for Atletico Baja before transferring to San Diego.
Oh, what a touch.
That's a beautiful pass to open things up. Pardo gets down at his near post.
All right, Baja changing the tempo of this game without a doubt. Love the topsy-turvy start in this game. Momentum switching sides from 2-minute spells to 2-minute spells.
Atletico Baja 5-5 this season against Pacific Division opposition. Finishing their regular season with 2 matches against Pacific Division teams. Interlock on Friday and now the Sockers tonight. This is San Diego's 3rd straight match against a team from the Southwest Division. Of course, that 10-3 win that we called 9 days ago against El Paso, and then the 9-3 loss last night to Sonora. These San Diego players only got back home at 9 a.m. this morning. No Victor Quiros tonight, suspended. The 40-year-old missing his first ever game for San Diego over the 2 seasons that he's been here. Tovar wants it slid through, and it was played with just a bit too much mustard.
Quiros, such an Iron Man.
What a bad giveaway from Escobar. Medina trying to take advantage. Martin might.
Scotty.
San Diego has to be careful. There's a player lurking in the back wall. But getting back to win it is Craig Childs. Oh, correction, Medina. Felipe Gonzalez to bring it up for the Sockers. Into the corner for Childs. Childs dispossessed by Ernesto Luna. Well, and the Sockers need to be cleaner with the ball at their feet. They're getting themselves into some trouble.
Look at Scotty Martin to the rescue. Showing off the speed. The young man. 18, his number and his age, right?
Absolutely. Times. This is Velez. Oh, it wasn't a bad ball over the head of Childs. Right into the arms of Mario Escobar.
Not a bad idea there at all. You got Childs with his back to goal in space. Nothing wrong with playing the Pride of Poway in.
Escobar has played every game in goal this season after splitting last year with Jesus Antonio Perez. As we've reached the media timeout, just about 10 minutes played here in the first quarter, and San Diego has a 1-0 lead. No goals after that first 13 seconds when Luan Salas Oliveira guided it into the upper corner. A gorgeous goal, but since then, Atletico Baja really woken up after that.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Actually came from an unforced error and a delay of game penalty, and it was a free kick 13 seconds in. So there's been plenty of great action in the run of play, but the only goal actually coming from a dead ball and a beautiful little setup there drawn up by Salvaggio, and obviously something the Sockers practice all week. You see them, anytime you get a chance to see a Sockers training session the way you and I have, Mark, you see them how often they work on those set pieces. It's something where they know those are our big chances to score throughout games. You can play the prettiest soccer for 60 minutes and never have anything to show for it from the run of play, and if we just score from a few set pieces, we might get the win. So Phil Salvaggio put so much emphasis on those set pieces. They practiced them, and they practiced some more, and it showed with the way that one worked. Great little movement off the ball just to take a couple eyeballs one way for a half second, and suddenly LSO's sneaking up. Childs plays him over, and yeah, it was an absolute peach of a finish from LSO in the end of it. Upper V beating the keeper for the 1-0 lead.
San Diego looking to finish the home portion of their schedule at 9-1. It's a big cheer here at the crowd as in the Soccer's first playoff game, there's going to be a celebrity match at halftime, and Landon Donovan has been confirmed to play in that. So you're going to want to come out for that one here at the Valley View Casino Center. And all that's really remains to be seen is whether the opponent's going to be Ontario or Tacoma.
We'll see who the opponent is. Actually had a great chance to chat with Landon on Friday here inside the Valley View Casino Center, and he's as excited as anybody for that game, that celebrity game at halftime of that playoff affair on March 12th. Landon saying how much he loved indoor soccer growing up, and how it's kind of a dream come true for him to be able to play inside an arena like this, an atmosphere during a playoff game. So cannot wait for that on March 12th. And a huge thank you to Landon Donovan for that interview on Friday. Great stuff.
Topete playing catch with Pardo. The 32-year-old will clip it into midfield. Bought down by Luna. Little touch out wide. Over to the near side for Cerberos. A 23-year-old unable to turn Topete on the wall. Great defending from Juan Topete as he gets it back to his keeper. Patience from the San Diego Sockers. They don't mind grinding out these low-scoring games.
No, that's music to the ears of Phil Salvaggio. He knows this team can attack. He's put so much emphasis on the defense as well this season. Every time he's spoken to us, Mark, thinking about how much better they can do defensively, really hammering that aspect home. Second best defensive record in the league this year. It's got to be a balanced approach going into those playoffs if they're to do what they really want to do and get that 15th championship in franchise history.
Espinosa, Learman from distance. Oh, that's a nice move from Learman. His shot was always skewing wide of goal.
Of the oohs and the ahs there from everybody in attendance. Most everybody here, I'd say 90 to 95% of this crowd rooting for the Sockers, but they appreciate good play when it happens.
And this is Castor.
Atletico Baja have had a few just great moments of individual flair and team brilliance, but no goals to show for it.
Meanwhile, the Sockers need to be more technically sound at the back. A couple times they've given up the ball in their own defensive end and have almost been made to pay.
And they somehow have not been made to pay for any of those mistakes in their own third. And here we go again. This is just dangerous stuff. But
beautifully measured ball from Galbraith. That for Claire. Steps inside the keeper, is brought down, and it's going to be a blue card on Escobar.
I'm not sure what Escobar is yelling at Claire about there.
Well, the Sockers want more than just a blue card. If that's outdoor soccer, you're talking about the denial of a goal-scoring opportunity.
Well, if that's outdoor on a big field, you're talking keeper, sent off. Absolutely. Last man, denying of a goal-scoring opportunity. Here, just the blue card to Atletico Baja, and Escobar obviously not serving the penalty. We'll see who the sacrificial lamb is, who has to come over from the bench and say, I'll take the 2 minutes for you.
You know, when I played, I would always serve the penalties because that way I would get on the stat sheet.
Well done, Mark.
So it's going to be Roman Ramirez, the youngest player on this Atletico Baja side, who will go to the box.
Oh, there you go.
And the Sockers will go to work. 17 goals on 43 power play attempts this season. Actually tied percentage-wise on successful conversion rate with Atletico Baja for 6th in the MASL.
We'll see if they can go ahead of them right here. I love they send the rookie. They send the youngest guy on the team over to serve the penalty.
Atletico Baja has killed 15 of the 30 penalties they've faced this season. And patience from the Sockers. Now clipped across. What a goal that would have been from Craig Childs.
Not quite. Always rising. Always going up and over. Killed off 31 seconds. Have the boys from TJ. Good look there from Atletico Baja. Those opening 31 seconds of the power play. So a long way to go in this one, though.
Felipe Gonzalez bringing it forward for the San Diego Sockers. He will quarterback this power play as Cerda lets it go. Minute 10 seconds left on the penalty to Mario Escobar. Box setup being played by the penalty killing unit of Atletico Baja. Felipe Gonzalez looking for a way to break it down. And now they get it inside. Cerda steps into one and it's blocked. Cerda wanted to have another go. Gonzalez will. He floats that one wide. It's a lovely ball over for Cerda. Out to the wing. Childs misses it at the near post.
That was their one that they got away with.
And another block from Rojo, who's third in the MASL in blocks.
90 seconds into this thing. It's been a darn good penalty kill from Atletico Baja so far.
Now they get it inside, and they get their second goal. It's Oliveira with his brace.
Well, it was a good penalty kill for about 97 seconds.
Patience pays off for the San Diego Sockers, and they have a 2-0 lead.
How about you now, LSO? It's the LSO show. Minute 26 left here in the first quarter. Sockers 2, Atletico Baja 0. That's Luan Oliveira showing love to the crowd, drawing the hearts, booming the souvenir ball up into the stands. 2 goals for number 11, 2 goals for the Sockers. 1:26 left here in the first quarter. Doubling up, LSO.
And notice that he didn't try and kick that ball over the net.
Well, he tried throwing it over the net on the first one, so maybe if he just tried kicking it over the net to begin with, he could have done it.
Well, you know what they always tell you when it comes to shooting? Keep it down, keep it down. So it's hard to try and play it up high in the air. Atletico looking for the instant response. They almost get it as that one skips all the way through.
Sounds like a coach, Mark.
Manuel Rojo. Headed away by Gonzalez, who did such a good job orchestrating that power play for the San Diego Sockers.
I feel like I jinxed the Atletico Baja penalty kill because it was fantastic up until that one breakthrough there. Really well organized.
But you have to give the Sockers credit. Didn't force anything. The one time they could find the ball inside, that's when they got it to LSO, and he did a great job to sweep it into the corner.
Waited, and then pounced when the opportunity presented itself. Another delay of game here.
It'll be a kick in for Scotty Martin. Playing his 12th game of the season after playing just 5 last year. Martin's been such a huge contributor when he's been in. 2 assists against Tacoma. 3 on the season. As Pardo comes over the 3/4 line and plays it into the corner for Medina. Medina still battling for it. And cleared only as far as Cerda in the midfield. Inside for Tovar. Tovar gets it on his favorite right foot. One thing Atletico Baja do so well is block shots.
Absolutely.
So good at getting their bodies in front of the ball, Atletico Baja. Have Ernesto Luna 4th in the MASL in blocks. He has 35 on the season. Manuel Rojo is on his way to 40 as he's 3rd in the MASL. And Pardo had to pluck that one out of the air before it landed underneath his crossbar.
What a goal that would have been.
That will do it for the first quarter. Either end, and LSO has hit Atletico Baja with both barrels, and the Sockers have a 2-0 lead. We'll be back right after this.
Hi, thanks for checking out American Spa and Pool Pros. We provide liability insurance for pool service professionals. Whether your business is pool repair, builders, remodelers, plasterers, or just about any service for swimming pools, we have a plan for you. Our customers love us, and they keep coming back year after year. We're licensed to insure your pool business in more states than any other pool service association in America. We offer great coverage and competitive rates. There's a flexible plan that's perfect to protect your business and your livelihood. Have a question? Just ask. We look forward to you becoming a member of ASAPP today.
I'm Stephanie, and I'm a San Diego State student, and I am a Cal Coast member. I would honestly consider the people who work at Cal Coast my friends. Like when I'm walking up, they're smiling and still respectful, really kind, but they're just happy, and they really seem happy to be doing their job. Book skills are important, but they're temporary. Life skills are forever. So what Cal Coast teaches me with handling my money, I'm going to know that and use that for the rest of my life.
Blew out my ACL.
Pulled my shoulder out.
Broke my collarbone. I had a Liz Frank injury.
You play long enough and it's going to happen to you.
I heard a lot of good things about UC San Diego health system.
The hospital, the doctors.
Gave me a lot of confidence going into the surgery.
A good experience for me.
I was able to get back to the sports I love.
It's always nice to relate to a doctor when they've been an athlete.
I wouldn't trust anybody else with my knee.
San Diego leads 2-0 at the first intermission, courtesy of the Luan Oliveira Show. Thoughts on the first quarter, Nate?
The brace from LSO. Fantastic stuff from Luan Oliveira. I think LSO was kind of the story of that first quarter. Obviously, it was great how the goals game has got a bookends of that first quarter. The first coming just 13 seconds into this game. The latter coming on the power play there with 1:26 left in that first quarter. So apart from that, Atletico Baja played a relatively clean first quarter. Were unlucky to not get a goal themselves. Had some great moments of flair, some moments of team and individual brilliance, but nothing to show for it. They trail 2-0 as we get ready to start the second quarter with Craig Childs and LSO on the kickoff. The guys who teamed up for that opening goal just 13 seconds in.
One thing the Sockers have done a great job is keeping Christian Gutierrez quiet. The number 4 for Atletico Baja has 51 goals, second in scoring and second in points in the MASL behind Frank Tayu.
Look at Eli Galbraith-Knapp stepping in. So great to see Eli back on the field here for the Sockers after all the injury struggles since signing with this team. Former USD man, played with the North County Battalion during the NPSL season in 2016. Local favorite, well-known character here in the San Diego soccer scene, indoor and outdoor, collegiate and professional. Eli, real stoked to be back in action, doing what he loves the most, and that's playing in games.
And he's looking very crisp here tonight, especially on the ball.
You know, and that's the type of guy, you see that in Major League Baseball when a guy comes up late season. You see it in the NFL sometimes when a practice squad guy emerges late in the season. You see it in the professional soccer ranks when a guy who's been on the reserve squad can kind of come in late in the season and suddenly they're dominating. They almost have more energy than anybody else. They've got a bunch left in the tank as other guys are kind of hitting that point where they're looking for that extra bit of energy. So a guy like Eli Galbraith-Knapp, as this one goes out on the block, gets stuck up in the net there. A guy like Eli Galbraith-Knapp, what he represents for Phil Salvaggio is huge. I mean, forget all the injury struggles. He's back, he's crisp now, and he's got as much energy, if not more energy in the tank than anybody on this team right now. He's ready to prove himself. This is opening day for him, basically.
And you used that word depth, which I think that's what it shows that Phil Salvaggio has at his disposal.
Absolutely. The notion that you can take a guy who hasn't really been playing all season and throw him right into the fire and say, go on, Eli.
It wasn't a bad idea as Reza was making a run inside, but instead it's Atletico Baja to come the other way. Cerberos pushes it into the corner. And it's cleared out only as far as Lara, whose shot is blocked out wide by Raimondo Reza.
Mark, we're coming up on 6 o'clock on a Sunday night. The Valley View Casino Center fans still filing in to the arena.
That says one thing about the San Diego Sockers fans and another thing about San Diego traffic.
Well, it's only a Sunday. A lot of things to do. Beautiful day outside. It's supposed to be rainy and muggy outside. It was actually a beautiful day in San Diego today.
Pardo over the three-quarters line.
We'll save the rain for your drive back to LA tonight.
Gonzalez. It was raining on the way down here. Tovar, that's a good turn from him. Espinosa defending well, and he's able to stab it away. Smart header from Gonzalez to get it out to Claire, but he loses it in midfield. Flighted in, looking for Sarai. He's able to body off Gonzalez, but at the expense of a foul. Nice move from Claire. And well off the boards, gets it back from Tovar. forward, left off for Claire. That is a gorgeously worked play by the San Diego Sockers, but it's saved off the line by Timothy Learman.
Bravo, bravo, everybody involved. That was fantastic.
Castor has it taken off of him by Gonzalez. Talut.
There's just such a great energy in this building right now, and I'm telling you, these players are feeding off of it. But again, the Sockers just being so lackadaisical at the back. How they haven't paid the ultimate price for that is beyond me. Look at Talut going here. As it just jacked away there at the end.
Until it was flying forward, but it was a great tackle by Manuel Rojo. And here is another rookie that was picked out of the local leagues of TJ. Rojo having an excellent first season, and that's a great ball out of traffic. It's opened things up for Learman on the far side. He's angling toward the middle, but shoots tamely at Boris Pardo.
Max Talut heading to the bench right now. Just to see number 4 come back out for his next shift, see what he can bring. I was very looking forward to seeing this evening.
Velez with the dummy. And it's 3-on-2 for the Sockers. And coming across was Viela. Still work to be done here.
Oh, that was dirty. Maybe a tad more clumsy than malicious, but no one really cares about intent when studs are showing.
And the blue card is out.
Oh, absolutely. Deservedly so, you have to say.
So Atletico Baja will go on the power play.
There's Viela. Brunt of that challenge.
And Oliveira not at all happy, but he came flying in with the foot out. Even if he gets the ball, refs are mostly inclined to call that.
No, in this day and age, it's a foul every time. Don't care, indoor, outdoor, on earth, outer space. You come in like that, you're going to get called for it.
Good news for Sockers fans is that they have the 3rd best penalty kill in the MASL, have given up just 9 goals on 37 situations where they've had a man down. Only Casey and Sonora have better penalty killing units than the San Diego Sockers. So Oliveira, the man who scored 2 goals, will sit for 2 minutes. And the Sockers will look to hold on to their 2-0 lead midway through the second quarter. As Luna puts it off the near glass, and the rebound is scuffed by Gutierrez.
That screwed with Pardo quite a bit there. It scuffed so bad it almost
and now
blew his mind.
Chasing.
They talk about seeing Talut on his next shift. Love Talut on the shorty. It's one of the funnest players to watch on the penalty kill. He can be lethal.
Leads the league with 3 shorthanded goals, Max Talut.
The breakout. All about the breakaway on the shorthanded.
And it's stolen away by Velez.
Oh, Eddie. Again, the Sockers getting lucky. Dinky with the ball at the back. Look out here, Mark.
Keep it here. And it's 1-on-1. And a great save by Escobar.
Oh, what a save.
And still going. But Escobar gratefully takes as Gonzalez followed up. Sockers settle back in their defensive shape. Fizzed into the corner. Luna plays it across. Lara gets it back for Gutierrez. Nowhere near his 52nd goal of the season. Cerberos. Final 30 seconds of the penalty to Luan Oliveira. And a heavy touch. Hard for Cerberos to bring it down.
Oh.
And the break could be on here, but Escobar is out to mop up. Final 15 seconds of the power play for Atletico Baja. Is there a chance for one more shot? And there is, but Pardo did just enough. And then well struck by Luna, but the shot was always rising. And so a goalie restart with 4 seconds left in the penalty to LSO.
As we see that ball from the first quarter still stuck up between the boards and the net over there.
And fired down for Talut to chase. Talut will get on the end of it. Forward for Talut. And he clashes with Escobar. And the goalkeeper will always receive the benefit of the doubt. So the foul's going to go against Talut.
I like Talut and Escobar immediately.
But the Sockers have successfully killed another penalty.
Love that, the happy birthday wishes coming over the PA from our friend Callum McClurg right now. And among those happy birthday wishes, some guy named Luan Oliveira, who's already celebrating his birthday with 2 goals in the first quarter of this game. Just got out of the penalty box after the Sockers killed off the penalty. So Luan Oliveira, how about a hat trick on his birthday?
Well, Luan Oliveira turns 29 tomorrow, and today Anthony Medina's turned 38 years old. Talk about another evergreen in this Sockers roster.
Okay, so an early celebration of the birthday for LSO. It's never too early to celebrate.
Just getting word from the San Diego Sockers Director of Communication and Marketing, Ian Cook, that Joe Corona is in the crowd tonight, and he says hello to everybody watching on the MASL YouTube channel. Tovar. Tovar wants it back. Played off the boards for Tovar, and he'll bundle it over the line. Sockers lead 3-0.
Not nearly as pretty as the first 2 goals this evening. It counts just the same. 3-0 San Diego. 7:55 left here in the second quarter, Mark.
And the Xolos man, Joe Corona, would have been proud of that run through the midfield.
Absolutely.
From Tovar to finish it off.
Absolutely. You know, it was great catching up with Joe Corona back on Friday night and actually speaking with him over social media earlier today. And Joe, someone who so deeply entrenched in the San Diego community, the Sweetwater High School graduate. That was his type of run right there on cue. That was actually his only goal this season for Xolos down in the home opener for Xolos against Puebla. 6-2 rout of Puebla back on January 13th. Joe scored the 6th goal of the night that game. And if there was an outdoor twin of a goal to that one that we just saw right there, that was the one from Joe Corona back on January 13th. And again, they count just the same. At the end of the year, when you're going over the stat sheet, you can say, "Oh yeah, it was a 20-yard thunderbolt that I scored. It wasn't a bumbling tap in." No, not at all.
Well, it's not always about the shot you take; it's about the position you put yourself in to finish.
Absolutely.
It was a great ball back, angled off the boards for Tovar.
Well, and how many strikers? It's so funny when you talk about a midfielder having that nose for goal, having that nose for that run straight down the middle there. How many strikers have we seen over the years, guys? I think of a couple of names off the top of my head as far as that attitude with strikers. Ruud van Nistelrooy, Javier Hernandez, Chicharito, who have that nose for goal, that ability to just be in the right place at the right time, have that grittiness, and just be able to bumble one in, do it ugly, do it pretty, do it however it needs to be done to tally one for whatever team you're playing on. That's exactly what happened there. 7:55 left here in the second quarter. The Sockers starting to really get some momentum behind them. Next goal is going to be huge in this game. Atletico Baja need to get the next one, need to get this thing to 3-1.
Tovar now 12 goals on the season, has doubled his tally from last year. And this is Gutierrez. Had a goal and assist in Friday night's loss against Turlock. And it's another 2-on-1 for the Sockers. Childs begging for it at the back post. And it's a tap in for Craig Childs. Goal number 310 in his career.
Well, there's your next goal, Mark. Easy as you like for Childs. 4-0 for San Diego. These fans are absolutely loving it here at the Valley View Casino Center. LSO loving it as well. He's celebrating like he scored it. As the group celebration winds down, Childs whipping this crowd into a frenzy as he launches the souvenir ball up into the crowd. Actually just hands it off to a kid in the front row. Man said that the next goal was going to be huge in this game. Comes just a few seconds later. It's scored by San Diego. Craig Childs makes it 4-0 Sox.
Tovar's looking for more. Gutierrez came flying in.
Tovar may have just taken a little shot to not a friendly area there. As you see him, now he's back to full speed.
Tovar fouled again.
Getting worked. Trying to keep it together here, Mark. This crowd's just overflowing up into our booth.
On those last 2 goals, Nate, You have to say that the passes first from Cesar Cerda, or excuse me, Brandon Escoto for Eric Tovar, and then Medina for Childs were just as important as the finishes themselves.
The distribution was mighty fine, indeed.
And here is Cerda. Was looking for Childs, rather behind his man, so Childs will have to work back. Cerberus. He'll guide it back to his keeper. Final 6 minutes, 30 seconds of the second number quarter. Viela, a former Ontario man. Oswaldo Lara plays it across. Gutierrez, Espinosa rolls it along the carpet. And it's picked off, and it's another free kick for the San Diego Sockers.
And they got this promotional chant going here. The Sockers give away free wings at Hooters if the Sockers score 5 goals to all the fans. The fans weren't necessarily getting that into that chant, but Callan McClurg on the PA was getting as into it as I've ever heard. I think Callan really wants wings. Going to get him some wings at halftime. Because he's going to keep yelling. He's just going to keep yelling, I want wings. It's going to turn into I want wings.
I think I heard him say I before he actually said we.
We want wings.
Could the 5th goal come right here? Play to the back post just beyond Claire. Claire will circle back with it. Cerda gets it across. Tic-tac-toe inside for Escoto, who loses his footing.
What is Escoto doing? My goodness.
Escoto's in. Can't get it beyond Escobar. And then Reza couldn't get around the keeper. Good tackle from Escoto. The 23-year-old still going, but he's dispossessed. Wins it right back. Off the boards over Escobar, but it goes all the way through.
The contortion from Escoto over the last 10 seconds, and here he is back on it.
Escoto to the back post, was begging for a tap-in, and then tipped away from Claire. And it's 2-on-2 going the other way. A third player is set to join the party on the far side for Atletico Baja. And Villela instead keeps it on the near side, and the shot is blocked by Reza. Tremendous defending from Raimundo Reza. And Escoto holds it up so that the Sockers can make changes. Well, how about a piece of skill there? Great work from Cesar Cerda. The way he lifted it between two, and then quickly off for Claire. What a goal that is! Matt Claire makes it 5-0, and how?
My goodness. Matty. 4:31 left here in the second quarter. This crowd absolutely loving it.
Matt Claire's loving it. He is on fire, and that ball had fire tailing out the back in it as it slammed into the roof of the net.
Cannoned off the foot of Claire. 5-0. Sockers opening up a can here in this first half. Atletico Baja with no answer.
Martin defending in the corner. Pardo comes out to help him. Atletico Baja in this second quarter, Nate, have just been caught on odd man rush after odd man rush. The Sockers countering almost at will.
I don't know what the answer is for Baja right now.
Just about to ask, though, where are those breakdowns happening for Atletico Baja that the Sockers are getting numbers up every time they attack?
Seems like everywhere. Hey, and you know what? The big story after that goal from Claire? Callan McClurg gets his wings.
He could use them too.
Absolutely. They had a few pounds, Callan.
Medina weaves his way through midfield, leaves it off for the run of Galbraith Knapp, looking for the rebound, and it comes for Tovar. Great save from Escobar. Martin steps in. Off for Oliveira. Oliveira inside. And a free kick will go the way of the San Diego Sockers. Martin saying, hey, thank you for the free kick, but what about playing some advantage? Just over 3.5 minutes remaining in the second quarter. And a long shot from Medina.
Okay.
Goalie restart for Escobar. Gonzalez steps in, trying to win it back, but the ball will stay with Ramon Ramirez. Gutierrez from distance, blocked by Martin. Childs waiting for help, gets it in the guise of Claire. Martin also jumping up into the offense. And it's another free kick for the San Diego Sockers. This one going against Viela. 3 minutes, 13 seconds remaining. San Diego, who were shut out in 2 of the 4 quarters against Solis de Sonora, looking to keep Atletico Baja shut out for both quarters of this first half. Looking to add to their scoreline as well as it's guided into the middle but clipped away from Childs. Viela with a bit of a heavy touch, but he's able to get on the end of it. Well intercepted by Eddie Velez. The Tijuana native barreling forward. And he goes for glory, just over, and then almost on the rebound. Spectacular save from Mario Escobar.
A foul on Velez down in the corner. Fabulous save from Escobar. Spectacular highlight reel stuff.
Just under 3 minutes left in the first half. San Diego with a commanding 5-0 lead over Atletico Baja. Reminder to stay with us at halftime as Nate Abarea has an interview with Landon Donovan, so you won't want to miss that. Childs battling for it. And which way is this free kick going to go? It's going to go against Childs. Right decision from the referee.
Inclined to agree, Mark Serber. And I think even Craig Childs inclined to agree there.
Nate, give us a little preview. What do you and Landon talk about?
Talking so much about the Major League Soccer to San Diego movement with Landon Donovan, obviously an ambassador for Major League Soccer and someone who cares so deeply about the growth of the league and the growth of the sport in America, and someone who now cares so deeply about the city of San Diego and the soccer culture of this city. Landon Donovan, his wife, and his young child have now been living in San Diego for about a year, so Landon is basically over the last couple of months made it publicly known that he's here in San Diego. He's going to be taking part in that soccer celebrity match at halftime of that MASL playoff game on March 12th. We spoke at length about that, his love for indoor soccer, how he actually would play indoor soccer twice a week with his friends growing up. They'd go and play up in Ontario growing up, and said it was so funny where I grew up in Southern California where it's sunny 90% of the time, and they still loved playing indoor. It was just a rush for them to go inside the arena and play in Ontario. Good save there again from Escobar, good body position. But again, Landon Donovan just loving life here in San Diego, and you can really tell in talking with him, and he's just loving the people and so down to earth right now. His playing career is over. There are no more comebacks for Landon Donovan.
Well, except for the celebrity match.
Except for the celebrity match. We shouldn't say the career over, exactly. His indoor career may just be starting. Who knows? But no, he's so down to earth right now and really just excited to be a part of this movement in San Diego, and talked about a whole lot of things, but as far as what the folks are going to see at halftime, definitely focusing on the MLS to SD movement and his love for the indoor game and his excitement for a big event on March the 12th. So hope you all enjoy.
Final minute of the second quarter. No call, says the referee, so the Sockers can break. Instead, Topete is going to hold it up. Good strength from Topete. Viela coming forward. He's clattered in too, and the foul will go against Cesar Cerda.
Brandon Escoto with the Dikembe Mutombo-like wag of the finger there. I think it was a pretty sure foul. Not sure exactly what Escoto was seeing, but he had just as good of a view of it as the referee. He was about the same distance away from the challenge from his teammate. Just maybe a little bit more bias in play in terms of his opinion compared to the man in green.
Atletico Baja calling a timeout, so head coach Rene Ortiz wants to draw something up here.
They got to. They got to get a goal before the end of this half.
Well, San Diego's looked very comfortable throughout, but they've been playing very patient. And the other end, Atletico going forward almost at will, and that's really hurt them a couple times. And talk about coaches not necessarily being conservative, but how they have to keep their shape. I don't think Atletico's keeping their shape, and that's what's hurting them. When they do lose the ball, they're not in good starting positions defensively.
No, and they did keep their shape very well, I thought, in the first quarter, and it's just all kind of evaporated in front of our eyes here in the second quarter. I mean, you always ask me, Mark, hey, what am I seeing? What can a team do better? I don't know if we have enough time to say what a team can do better in terms of this Atletico Baja team. There's so many different things, the shortcomings here in the second quarter.
Well, and what they're going to do for these final 44 seconds is they're bringing out the sixth attacker.
There's one answer. Okay. That works. The time is now.
Hard to tell from up here in row Z, but I believe it's Viela. Both him and Cerberos have worn the sixth attacker jersey this season for Atletico Baja. A free kick for Atletico Baja, who are playing a man up for the final 39 seconds of this first half. As they have the sixth attacker out there trying to pull one back before halftime, trailing 5-0. And they have to be careful because anytime they lose the ball, an empty net opportunity could present itself to the San Diego Sockers. Final 20 seconds.
I love this from Atletico Baja, though, right now.
The Sockers have built that house to deal with the sixth attacker. You have the four-man box and then one on the point.
This is tough. There's not a lot of space to work with. Only 5 seconds left here.
And that shot over should do it. 3 seconds left, and Pardo's just going to heave this one downfield. $5-0 San Diego after 30. Coming up, Nate Abarea spoke with Landon Donovan, and we have it for you. Stay with us here at halftime.
Nate Abarea here at the Valley View Casino Center alongside one of the greats in the history of American soccer, the all-time leading goal scorer for the U.S. men's national team. Here with us in San Diego, Landon Donovan. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
So first off, before we get into MLS to SD and a few other things that we're anxious to talk about with you, talk about Landon Donovan becoming a San Diegan.
Right. Well, I think as anybody who's in a relationship or married knows, when your wife says, I'd like to move to San Diego, you say, okay, when are we moving? And furthermore, she grew up here. My wife grew up here. Her family's here. So about 3 weeks into my son's life, we came down. We were in over our heads with feeding and diapers and all that stuff that comes with it. And we were able to go out to dinner and leave our baby for 3 hours with her parents. And we kind of looked at each other at dinner and we said, yeah, we're moving here. So that made the decision quite easy. But growing up, I didn't spend a lot of time here. I spent time here for soccer tournaments, but I probably wouldn't have imagined that I would live here one day. But it's been almost exactly a year, and I absolutely love this place, and I'm proud to be here now.
Now, Landon, you happened to get here during an incredible time in soccer's culture in San Diego, and let's get right into kind of the juice of this whole thing and the movement for Major League Soccer to come to San Diego, something that you've been on board with from the get-go.
I have. I mean, I've been an ambassador of Major League Soccer forever. I love the league. I love the sport, obviously, and I want to see it grow in this country. So as you guys know, growing up with tradition of having the Sockers here and continuing the tradition and trying to build something special, the opportunity to kind of go from, second gear to fifth gear quickly is what we have the opportunity to do here now. And San Diego is a massive soccer culture. There's a lot of people here that love the game. The Sockers have been embedded here forever. Surf and now Albion and all these teams, Nomads, that have been here forever. And now we have a chance to make it big time. And I think if you have that opportunity, it probably comes once in a lifetime, and you got to jump at it.
Well, you bring up the history of this Sockers organization going back to the 1970s, and you talk about the culture of the city and how important that is, and tying that into the effort to bring a Major League Soccer franchise here to San Diego. Specifically with the Sockers, what can the Sockers do to help that process? What can the Sockers fans do to help that process?
Well, the Sockers fans have been doing it for years, and the Sockers have been doing it for years. You have to have a base. If you go into a city that has no soccer culture, no soccer history, you're starting from below ground zero, right? So what the Sockers have done here is they've created soccer fans, people who understand the game. Obviously, indoor is a little different than outdoor, but they understand the nuances of the game and how it works. They understand how soccer brings people together. And now they have an opportunity to hopefully be a part of another step in San Diego soccer history and bring us an MLS team here to San Diego. We're going to have opportunities now in the next few months to publicly show our support, privately show our support. There's going to be an initiative that comes out that people can sign to help bring soccer to San Diego, Major League Soccer to San Diego. So this is part of the process of getting all these different groups of people that love soccer in this city and combining them and galvanizing them and hopefully do something really special.
All right, bringing the soccer train back inside the Valley View Casino Center now and moving in to the month of March 12th, and the MASL playoffs here at the Valley View Casino Center with the San Diego Sockers. And there will be a very interesting celebrity game taking place that night featuring some guy named Landon Donovan.
Some fat guy.
Hey,
some overweight guy. Can't run.
You haven't been retired that long. Come
long
on now.
enough, trust me.
All right, you're taking part in the celebrity game.
Yeah.
What are you most looking forward to about the celebrity game, Landon?
Well, I don't know if people know that even though I grew up in Southern California where it's sunny most days of the year, we actually preferred to play indoor soccer growing up. So we would go in Ontario, California, we'd go twice a week and play indoor with all our friends. And as you get older, playing outdoor 11v11 on a big field is kind of hard, so playing indoor is a lot of fun. I grew up knowing the name, the Sockers, right? And I knew the Sockers before obviously they were around before that. I knew the Sockers better than I knew the LA Galaxy, than DC United. I didn't come to games, but I knew the brand. So it's obvious to me that something special has been here for a long time, and I've always wanted to experience it. So having the ability to see this venue and how incredible this place is with the history, and to be in touch with some of the Sockers folks and have the opportunity to play in a game, it's really a dream come true for me, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Let's get into some memory lane stuff here with the U.S. men's national team. This is something I can't wait to talk to you about because you are such a beloved hero to so many people who follow this national team going back to the early 2000s and 2001 and, of course, the 2002 World Cup and everything that followed. There's so many memories that we could talk about. Is there one for you or maybe one or two that stand out as your favorite memories in a U.S. men's national team shirt?
The one that stands out for me personally is my first World Cup pregame, actually. We were walking out for warm-ups. And just to give some context, when I first started with the youth national teams, I was 16. And I started with a guy named DeMarcus Beasley. We both came onto the team at the same time. And we kind of grew up together through the under-17s, under-20s, the Olympic team, and then the full national team. So we were the two young kids that made that World Cup team in 2002. And we walked down the tunnel together, and we kind of peeked out, and the crowd was already filling in. And you have this moment where you go through all these memories of what it took to get there, right? Like playing in your backyard and practicing and running and all these things. And we kind of had this moment simultaneously, unscripted, where we looked at each other and we were like, holy shit, like we made it, you know? And that for me was such a cool moment because it kind of encapsulated everything that it had been. Now, on the field, there was lots of special ones. I mean, the one obviously that sticks out after the event was the goal against Algeria. In the moment, it's exciting, but you don't understand the magnitude of it until you're outside of it for a little bit. So for me, I was just so excited to score knowing that we got through, but you didn't know what was going on back home and how people were responding to it. So now that I understand that better, that obviously stands out too.
What goes through your mind when you see that goal and you hear Ian Darke's famous call, and it's kind of a 7 years later now almost from that moment in South Africa? Is it you get chills seeing it? What's the feeling when you actually see it now?
Yeah, I do. I enjoy seeing it, but I've always been like this where my memory on things is always kind of clouded. Maybe I got hit in the head too many times or something, but my memory on things is always kind of clouded, but I'm very much a what's next kind of person, and I'm always looking forward, and that's why I'm excited about all this. And I've always been kind of that way, but I do sometimes take a step back and say, okay, that's pretty cool that we were able to accomplish something like that made people feel that way. And so when I watch it, it kind of takes me through those emotions, and it's really special for me.
Do you have any predictions for that celebrity game, by the way?
Well, I've had a few texts from people who are playing in it, who have said, can I bribe you to be on your team? So that's good. They haven't seen me play in a while, obviously. I'm pretty competitive in these things, so I'm going to say my team's going to win.
Okay.
But regardless, we're going to have fun and hope people come out and watch because it's going to be pretty enjoyable. And then we want to cheer the Sockers on and help them advance in the playoffs.
Last thing, Landon, again, kind of reiterating this whole thing here. What can people in San Diego, what can they do today? What can they do next week? What can they do next month to really jump on board with this movement to bring Major League Soccer to San Diego?
There's a few things. One, be a soccer fan and be yourself because soccer fans are different than any other fan. Support your local teams, right? So if you grew up playing at Surf, if you grew up playing at Nomads, you grew up playing at Albion, you grew up watching the Sockers, you play for the Sockers, get out and support your teams. When it's time to sign the initiative, talk to your friends, get people involved, and let people understand how great this will be for San Diego. Those are the main things that you can do. If you can talk to your city council member and let your city council member know that he or she should be on board with this, that's a great thing to do. We want to show people that this city wants this to happen. You can see what an amazing thing has happened with the Sockers here and how that has helped unite this community. People talk about it so fondly. We want that again, and we want that for an outdoor team so that we have this synergistic combination between an indoor team and an outdoor team. We want all of these people galvanized in this together, and that's the best way you can do that is be yourself, be a soccer fan, and get out and support it.
Spoken true as ever. Landon Donovan, thank you so much for joining us, sir.
My pleasure.
His name is Landon Donovan. My name is Nate Abalreyes, signing off from the Valley View Casino Center here in America's finest city, San Diego, California. Bye for now.
I'm Stephanie, and I'm a San Diego State student, and I am a CalCoast member. I would honestly consider the people who work at CalCoast my friends. Like when I'm walking up, they're smiling and still respectful, really kind, but they're just happy, and they really seem happy to be doing their job. Book skills are important, but they're temporary. Life skills are forever. So what CalCoast teaches me with handling my money, I'm going to know that and use that for the rest of my life.
Blew out my ACL.
Pulled my shoulder out.
Broke my collarbone. I had a Liz Frank injury.
You play long enough and it's going to happen to you.
I heard a lot of good things about UC San Diego health system.
The hospital, the doctors.
Gave me a lot of confidence going into the surgery.
A good experience for me.
I was able to get back to the sports I love.
It's always nice to relate to a doctor when they've been an athlete.
I wouldn't trust anybody else with my knee.
We're getting set for the second half between the San Diego Sockers and Atletico Baja. Mark Serber alongside Neda Berea. San Diego with a 5-0 lead, and it's been a comprehensive performance for the home side through the first 30 minutes, Nate.
Yeah, and a disappointing performance, you got to say, from the visitors in that second quarter. They were very unlucky to go into that first quarter break trailing 2-0. They very well could have had a goal or two of their own. Some great goalkeeping from Pardo on the Sockers side, but man, that second quarter, things just fell apart for the for the visitors from Tijuana Atletico Baja. But credit's got to go where credit's due, and that is to the San Diego Sockers. The way they broke, Mark, you were speaking all throughout that second quarter about those odd man rushes for the Sockers. They were fun to watch. They lit this crowd up, and it goes 0 to 100 in just a snap of a finger. That's music to the ears of Phil Salvaggio, because that means that there's good defense being played, turning right into attack in the blink of an eye. That's what coach wants. That's a balanced attack. That's the type of stuff that could take you to a 15th championship, San Diego Sockers.
Talk about music to Phil Salvaggio's ears. How about a shutout through the first 30 minutes? Defense, defense, defense. That's what he's been preaching all season long.
Hey. I mean, it's balance. It's balance this evening here for the Sockers team as the second half's about ready to get underway.
And credit to Boris Pardo, who has 9 saves to have that shutout for the first 30 minutes. It's Atletico Baja who will get the second half underway. The men in blue attacking to the right of whatever device you may be watching on. San Diego Sockers looking for another flawless final 30 minutes at home in the regular season, as both these teams looking to build momentum heading into the postseason where they will feature. Velez gets it forward, the quick snapshot. Well positioned was Escobar to deny Childs. Castor brings it down. Gets it over to Mario Ceberos. You know, he's Mario Ceberos. I'm Mark Serber. Distant cousins?
Brother from another mother?
Perhaps.
Something like that.
Castor. Free kick for a ticky-tacky foul on Felipe Gonzalez.
I have always called you Senor Serber. It has a great ring to it.
The shot almost found its way through. Luna, 33-year-old, gets it back to Escobar. Zipped into the corner. Well, that's good defending from Felipe Gonzalez. Talut going through the gears. Gets it off to Martin. Picks out Gonzalez. And he'll leave it off for Pardo as the Sockers get fresh personnel out onto the turf.
Oh!
I thought I was just about to say that was good shielding.
Is the foul on Baja player there for fouling the boards?
It's going to go against Tovar.
I don't know what Tovar did there. That was one of the loudest thuds that I've heard in some time, though.
This is Rojo. Clipped into midfield and will go out of bounds on the Sockers bench. Kara Wickerad catching that one. One of the Sockers trainers. Escoto from distance! And he was barreled into as he shot it, so it's going to be a free kick for the San Diego Sockers just beyond that three-quarters line. Topete gets it off quickly to Claire. Make that Cerda. Cutting inside.
LSO on the hat trick. Oh, my goodness.
And once again, it's Escoto causing problems for Manuel Rojo. Escoto, with his mazy dribbling, he's electrifying in full flight.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oliveira perfectly off the boards, but Topete couldn't get his foot on it. Viela dances through midfield. One back by the Sockers.
It's off a little bit more than he could chew there.
And there's Escoto showing on his drills. This time put on a bit too many party tricks, and it's one back by Atletico Baja. And Escoto will be whistled for the foul. Have to love the hustle, though, after giving off that ball. Cerberus. 3 minutes gone in the third. Cerberus has a little bit of daylight, gets it into the corner. And the Sockers do a good job to get bodies back behind the ball. Still work to be done.
Oh!
And Tovar will be whistled for the high boot.
Second foul on Tovar in the last 90 seconds or so.
So another opportunity off the set piece for Atletico Baja. Still looking for their first goal of the game, trailing 5-0 to the San Diego Sockers. And the shot is blocked by Tovar. Still might be something on here. Lara, a little touch out wide. And the pass goes right to Claire. Tovar finds the return ball. Claire, he's already shown that he can hit them from here. This time he spins back around. Zipped it into Tovar. And it comes all the way through for Reza. Reza continues his run and scores. Ray Reza with an absolute rocket gives the Sockers a 6-0 lead.
The Reza rocket for number 6, 11-12. The goals the Sockers are scoring are straight off the top shelf this evening. That was no different there. What a strike from Ray.
Reza with his 6th goal of the season, surpassing last year's goal total. He is a player that Phil Salvaggio feels has really hit his stride, and so much of it has been the move from the midfield to defense, where he's been able to make those late-breaking runs, such as there with the 1-2 and the finish to boot.
You know, I love talking to Craig Giles about the culture and the game itself of indoor soccer, and Craig Giles is someone who, we'll get back to that actually. Oh!
Atletico Baja have scored their first goal of the game, and it's the perfect response to going down 6-0. It's now 6-1.
Straight back. Atletico Baja saying, no time for stories.
The youngest player on their squad, Ramon Ramirez, finds the back of the net for Atletico Baja.
So if you have a double R name, you're scoring goals within the last few seconds.
7th goal of the season now for Roman.
Me like that. Roman Ramirez follows Raimundo Rey. Any other RR initials that we should look out for here? I think that's it. We're going to do a quick little triple check there.
That one beyond the reach of Sarai. Scotty Martin. Gonzalez. Oh, what an addition Felipe Gonzalez has been to this club from the Las Vegas Legends. Claire with the interception. And Childs was almost the beneficiary.
Oh.
He wants a whistle. He's not going to get it.
God, you just kind of held your breath there the way Childs went down. It's a funky challenge.
Gutierrez. Espinosa. Cerberus. Neatly bought down by Castor. Poked away from him. Taken off the foot of Velez. And almost 6-2. That one hitting off the crossbar. Gutierrez has been so quiet tonight. Came into this match with 51 goals. Good double team in the corner. And Martin can only push it as far as Ernesto Luna in midfield. Off for Cerberus. Fakes the shot, now has a go, and it's off the upper glass. Luna holds it up in midfield, and this is the best spell of the game for Atletico Baja since scoring their first goal.
Yeah, well, it's a long road back. We know it's indoor soccer, though. That road can be paved rather quickly. Road can be traveled rather quickly, I should say. The road's already paved for you by it being indoor soccer. And you just got to drive the road.
Eddie Velez with a block, and that was a handball on Cerda, but advantage played by the referee as Luna gets it back from his keeper.
Sort of taking it back to the old San Diego Clippers days here in the sports arena.
Gutierrez goes for goal off the near glass. I want to say hello to Evan Mundine, who's watching today. Happy to have you with us, Evan, but we're excited to have you here at the Valley View Casino Center on March 12th when the San Diego Sockers will open up their account in the playoffs. All that remains to be seen is whether it will be against Tacoma or Ontario. And for the Sockers, they will finish their regular season at Tacoma on March 4th. For Atletico Baja, this is their last game of the regular season. They'll open up their playoff series against Soles de Sonora in Tijuana on March 8th. So for Baja, this is their final game of the regular season. But a great achievement for this second-year club. It will be their second year in the playoffs.
I want to get down to Tijuana for that game, actually, on March 8th. Should be a fun one.
La Unidad Deportiva, a great spot to watch indoor soccer.
A great multi-use sporting complex as well. The Zonkies of Tijuana, the local basketball team playing down there. They've had a number of different traveling events. The Harlem Globetrotters have been to that arena recently. And again, just the phenomenal relationship between TJ and SD. There might be a border between us, but you wouldn't know it by when you see what this relationship means to so many people, when you see how much we share in common. San Diego and Tijuana. Definitely March 8th. And all respect due to Atletico Baja, I don't want to miss an opportunity to see Soles de Sonora play. I mean, they are so fun to watch, and it's one of my favorite games, actually, of this soccer season was that defensive. We love attacking soccer, Mark. We're fans of the game at heart. We're just like any of the people in the arena. We love attacking soccer, as the foul is called there against Baja's number 10. That defensive performance that the Sockers put in against Soles here. Obviously, Soles getting a little bit of revenge this last night in that game, that 9-3 win. But that 5-2 win for the Sockers against Soles back in January, my goodness, that was so much fun to watch. And Phil Salvaggi, I think if you ask Coach Phil, that might be his favorite win of the season, shutting down the highest scoring offense. It scored over 200 goals this season in the MASL, shutting them out, keeping a clean sheet for 55 minutes as Craig Childs puts in another one, Mark.
15th multi-goal game of the season for the three-time MVP. And the San Diego Sockers back on song. Their 6-goal lead restored at 7-1.
Craig Childs, multi-goal man. 7-1 the score. Childs this time tries to go over the net, and he's got to show LSO a thing or two. A little harder to throw it over the net. Get the kick up and over the net with the celebratory ball there. But a touchdown for the Sockers to the 1 for Baja. 6-goal lead restored, as you said. Both goals this evening for Childs, should be said, tap-ins. I mean, it's the guy you want on the end of the service across. Hasn't been anything spectacular from Craig Childs, but he knows how to get in those good spots, those goal-scoring positions. Made no mistake about it on that occasion.
And once again, it was a fine flowing move coming off of a break for San Diego.
Mark, you've been all about the distribution this evening. You've been spotlighting the build-up, the passing, the patience, the flow from this Sockers team, and rightfully so, man. Everybody talks about the goal scores. I love it. Serber, all about the distribution this evening.
We have a break in play as we've reached the media timeout midway through the third quarter. Atletico Baja have gotten on the board, but it's all San Diego leading 7-1 behind 2 goals from Craig Childs and 2 goals for Luan Oliveira. And one of the important things to highlight is that whether it's Soles de Sonora or Atletico Baja, should the Sockers win the Pacific Division playoff series, their road to the Ron Newman Cup has to go through a Southwestern Division opponent.
Yeah. Could very well be another trip to Hermosillo for the Sockers, but who knows? I mean, this hasn't been a great night for the boys from TJ. Plain and simple, this has not been Atletico Baja's night. They could get this out of their system right now, and they could come up with a big surprise against Soles. Got to play the game. Game ain't played on paper. Soles certainly the favorite in that playoff matchup. But at the end of the day, boys from Hermosillo, sons of Sonora, they still got a lot of work to do themselves.
Look at Scotty Martin with the Karate Kid clearance.
The Karate Kid, Scotty Martin.
Cerberos. Just under 6 minutes left in the third. Sockers with a 7-1 advantage over Atletico Baja. Beat them 8-1 when they played here a year ago. It was the night when Craig Childs tied Julie V for second on the all-time scoring ledger. Childs has since surpassed Bronco Segota and now stands alone as the all-time leader in goals for the San Diego Sockers. That's a good steal from Medina. Castor goes back with it. It's a really stylish performance in the final regular season home match for the San Diego Sockers. As Baja starting to grow into the game a bit, as that was a rasping drive off the glass from Manuel Rojo. Gonzalez rather tricked himself. What a move that almost was from Lara. Pardo. Gonzalez. Claire comes back to get it.
I think Matt Claire's been getting a little beauty rest this evening. I feel like he hasn't been on the pitch for hardly any action this evening. He's actually scored a fantastic goal in the brief bit of time he's had out there, but especially here in the second half, it's only the first or second time he's actually been on the pitch. Sockers are on the back end of a back-to-back. Tough game in Hermosillo last night.
Well, it's going to be a penalty against Felipe Gonzalez as he came in for the trip. So Atletico Baja will go back on the power play where they're 0 for 1 tonight. Gonzalez pleading his case, but he's still going to have to sit. Atletico Baja looking to get back into this game, trailing 7-1, heading into the final 3 minutes and 50 seconds of the third quarter. And they have a man advantage. We have to do this again. Referees weren't ready yet. Wave continuing around at the Valley View Casino Center. Viela steps inside. And Cerberos will get it back. Sockers pressuring high. Toulouse's job is to watch the two players on the point. Velez fighting in the corner. Cerberos bowls past him, but the ball comes into the arms of a grateful Boris Pardo. Now Velez just looking to keep possession, but instead, wow, no foul. Looked to me like a trip on Oswaldo Lara. Instead, play goes on. 1 minute gone, 1 minute to go in the penalty to Felipe Gonzalez. Across for Gutierrez. Oh. Just over. And stolen away by Cerda. Viela. Lara. Viela. Off for Lara. And his shot is blocked by El Vaquero. Gutierrez still looking for his first goal of the evening. Inside looking for Lara, and it's Max Talut getting back.
How about it, Talut defensively? What's the call here, though?
They're going to say there's a clearance, so the ball's going to come to the top of the arc.
Really?
Had it gone out in between the dots, it would have been a corner kick. Because it went to the outside, the ball comes back to the top. Now, they were thinking about going directly for goal. Instead, Renny Ortiz wants the timeout to try and draw up the perfect play and see if he can get Atletico Baja their second goal of the evening. Trailing 7-1 with 2 minutes, 11 seconds left. And they have the man advantage for 21 more seconds as Felipe Gonzalez in the box for tripping. The San Diego Sockers with their 7 goals. Now the second best scoring offense in the MASL. 141 goals, surpassing the 138 of Dallas. Also surpassing last year's total with a game to spare. You know, we talk about how soccer, or stats in soccer don't really tell the full story, Nate. But you're taking a look at the stats. Reza now has more goals than he did last year. Eric Tovar has twice the amount of goals that he did last year. The Sockers have scored more goals than they scored all of last year. They've on their way to giving up less than the 111 goals they've given up last year, have only given up 87. I mean, everywhere you look, there's improvement, whether it's on the individual or the collective for the San Diego Sockers team.
You know, I think that last stat that you pointed out is the most important one for the Sockers team. We know they can score. Last year, there were some leaks defensively, and this year, been much, much better. That, I think, is the biggest improvement for this team from last year to this year.
Let's see what Ortiz drew up. Well, I think that last pass killed it, to be honest. Viela looking for a bit of space, gets it inside. And the Sockers swarming around the ball to win it back. 8 seconds left. And Talut unable to hold on to it. Gonzalez getting set to spring out of the box as the penalty is killed. The side's back to full strength. Viela from the top. And that shot was always drifting away from goal. You know, Atletico's goal came from inside the box. The majority of their shots have come from around or outside that three-quarters line.
That's such a classic Mexican soccer mentality of any culture in the world. Every culture has their own bit of I don't know what the right word is. Their
identity.
Their own identity, their own thing that they're known for. I'm telling you, man, watching Mexican soccer my entire life, it doesn't matter if it's the indoor game or the outdoor game. Mexican players will shoot from anywhere on the field.
Looking inside for Childs, who's on a hat trick.
And it's been something that we've actually seen from Atletico Baja this season. We've seen them have a lot of success with it. You don't see it actually that much in indoor soccer. We'll get back to that here in a minute.
Childs. Sockers lead by a touchdown. Hat trick for Oliveira.
Bravo, LSO. How about it, Mark?
Whether it's the beginning or an end of a quarter, LSO as cool as you'd like with the finish. And how about Craig Childs? Could have taken it himself, but he said, you know what, I'm going to give it to the man who started it. LSO with the interception in midfield to start the play, finishes that off by slotting it across the face of Mario Escobar. The Brazilian has his first hat trick of the season.
How about it? The first goal came 13 seconds into the game. Second goal came with 1:26 left in the first quarter. And this last goal comes with 51.1 seconds left in the third.
It's an early birthday celebration for the man who's going to turn 29 tomorrow. He has his hat trick with just over 51 seconds left in the third quarter. And the Sockers have an 8-1 lead. Doing everything that's demanded of this huge crowd here at the Valley View Casino Center. Escoto looking for one, and Childs is going to get the free kick at the top of the arc.
There was a foul there. Tough break. On a night of tough breaks for Atletico Baja.
Childs now has 2 goals and 2 assists.
Craig on a hat trick now.
Childs 7th in the league in points. Is he going to get a turn provider here again, or is he going to get his own hat trick? 3-man wall for Atletico Baja. Childs goes for glory. We are watching a legend. Craig Childs directly from the set piece picks out the top corner.
The hat comes onto the field from the seventh man sitting down by the boards. You could see it from Craig Childs. You saw him thinking about it. You posed the question mark. Craig Childs provides the answer, going for the hat trick of his own. Craig Childs and LSO with 3 apiece. The rest of the crew adding 3 onto that. 9-1. 37.2 seconds left in this third quarter. Talk about Childs. The first 2 goals were tap-ins. This was a thing o' beauty.
Pinpoint precision personified by Craig Childs. And a hug for his keeper, Boris Pardo. They're getting it done at both ends of the San Diego Sockers.
Well, the last time, a couple of goals ago, gave one up right back away. Look out for Claire here.
Matt Clare on the break. He leaves it off for Reza. Escobar makes the save. Well, once again, it's Reza charging up from the defense, and it's the vision and the unselfishness of the San Diego forwards. Players who had loads of goals last year are sacrificing goals for assist, and it's to the betterment of the team overall as San Diego has a 9-1 lead heading into their final 15 minutes of their regular season home finale.
Hi, thanks for checking out American Spa and Pool Pros. We provide liability insurance for pool service professionals. Whether your business is pool repair, builders, remodelers, plasterers, or just about any service for swimming pools, we have a plan for you. Our customers love us and they keep coming back year after year. We're licensed to insure your pool business in more states than any other pool service association in America. We offer great coverage and competitive rates. There's a flexible plan that's perfect to protect your business and your livelihood. Have a question? Just ask. We look forward to you becoming a member of ASAPP today.
I'm Stephanie, and I'm a San Diego State student, and I am a Cal Coast member. I would honestly consider the people who work at Cal Coast my friends. Like when I'm walking up, they're smiling and still respectful, really kind, but they're just happy, and they really seem happy to be doing their job. Book skills are important, but they're temporary. Life skills are forever. So what Cal Coast teaches me with handling my money, I'm going to know that and use that for the rest of my life.
Blew out my ACL.
Pulled my shoulder out.
Broke my collarbone. I had a Liz Frank injury.
You play long enough and it's going to happen to you.
I heard a lot of good things about UC San Diego health system.
The hospital, the doctors.
Gave me a lot of confidence going into the surgery.
A good experience for me.
I was able to get back to the sports I love.
It's always nice to relate to a doctor when they've been an athlete.
I wouldn't trust anybody else with my knee.
The San Diego Sockers thoroughly enjoying themselves, as is this massive crowd here at the Valley View Casino Center. 9-1 over Atletico Baja, heading into the final 15 minutes. And if this isn't an advertisement for why you should come back on March 12th for the playoffs, I don't know what is.
Well, what better time to give this advertisement than the night with one of the biggest crowds in recent San Diego Soccer's history. Every one of these fans this evening has every reason to come back on March 12th for what's sure to be an exciting playoff match, either against Ontario or Tacoma. And just to add on to the enticing nature of that March 12th playoff affair, some guy named Landon Donovan is going to be a part of that halftime celebrity match for the San Diego Sockers. So whether you're a fan of the U.S. men's national team, a fan of indoor soccer, a fan of the SD Sockers, fan of pure entertainment, a fan of the city of San Diego, or maybe all of the above, you better be here March 12th. Can't wait to see you.
A 5-point night for Craig Childs, 3 goals for Luan Oliveira. As we are getting set for the final 15 minutes of the home portion of the regular season schedule for the San Diego Sockers in their penultimate game. So they are looking to sweep aside Atletico Baja in the only meeting between these teams this year. It's off the boards and pushed away by Pardo. Otherwise, Gutierrez was on the prowl. Tovar, great hold-up play. And he gets it off from Martin. Tovar. Well, Martin hit that one like a forward, catching that on the volley. And then Tovar cleared that one away like a defender, but the wrong way.
Okay. Let's get it all figured out here. Who are we? Am I a color commentator or a sound engineer? I'm not sure after the last couple of minutes here, Mark. I'm having to save you here.
We hired you as a sound engineer. I don't know how you wiggled your way into the color commentator position, but...
Handed me a mic. I handed myself the mic because I'm the sound engineer. It's great.
Well, either way, we're happy to have you with us and excited that this isn't our last night here on the mic, as we will be back for that March 12th playoff match.
Could be more after that. Certainly hope that there's more after that. Phil Salvaggio, like to think that there's plenty more after that.
And now the question is, who would you rather play? If you play Tacoma, you're playing a team that has lost 6 of their last 7, but you have to travel up to Tacoma. If you play Ontario, you're playing a team that has won 7 of their last 8, but you only have to travel about 60 miles for that away game. As Claire can't pick out the far corner, but Craig Childs can pick out the rebound. 4 goals for Craig Childs, 10 goals for the San Diego Sockers.
Hat trick, +1, sprinkling one in there. 10-1 SD. What a night! San Diego Sockers. We said it's been the LSO show for much of this night. Craig Childs saying, don't you forget about me. Number 37 with number 4 in the goal department to go with 2 assists.
Third 4-goal game of the season for Craig Childs, as he has been involved in 6 of the Sockers' 10 goals. This one coming a minute, 16 seconds into the final period.
So they got 10 now. Does that mean Callan gets more wings? Is it like 5 goals equals more wings? Is that not how it works?
You would hope. Promotions don't seem to work that way.
Oh, man. I'm just looking out for Callan. Get some meat on those bones.
I was going to say, that guy's a stick. And I say that as a fat, jealous broadcaster. As that one will go out of bounds. So it'll be a goalie restart for Boris Pardo.
It's like, can you and Callan do an exchange? You know, like he just takes a little bit of
I'll
your
take
pounds,
his wings.
You know? Yeah,
I'll take his wings.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't talking about that, but all right, you take it that way. All right. I don't want to take away Callan's wings. He might get upset.
Escoto loses out to Oswaldo Lara.
You don't want to see Callan McClurg mad, tell you what.
You wouldn't like him when he's angry. Viela. He's really creator for this Atletico Baja side, but hasn't had space tonight. Another block for Raimundo Reza to go along with that gorgeous goal he scored.
Yeah, it's hard to pick which one was really the goal of the night. This evening got so many to choose from, and all of them have really been fantastic. Even the quote-unquote tap-ins this evening for the Sockers you've talked about, Mark, have just been pieces of great build-up from the Sockers team.
Viela. Espinosa. 31-year-old works his way to the corner. A bit too heavy on the touch, and it rolls into the arc of Boris Pardo. Runner-up for MASL Goalkeeper of the Year last season with the Kansas City Comets, Boris Pardo. Working on a 1-goal game here, and his 7th win of the season for the San Diego Sockers. On a beautiful ball threaded through for Claire. And almost a ball of equal elegance through for Tovar. Soccer's really turning on the style.
Well, I like to think of us as broadcasters of equal elegance, so, you know, I like Claire going for that there. Tough night for Escobar. He's made a number of highlight reel saves. You saw the goalkeeper
You have to
feet there moments ago. You got to feel for him.
And you have to ask how many of those goals are his fault or something he could have done better.
Well, it's interesting you asked that question because I was actually going to bring this up earlier. The first 2 goals in this game you could actually say were his fault. He was responsible for a delay of game penalty that led to that free kick 13 seconds in, and then it was him committing the foul that led to the power play, which led to the second goal for LSO in the first quarter. But other than those first 2, which were pivotal, it should be said, I don't think you can say Escobar was to blame for any of the subsequent 8, but it's funny you asked that question because I definitely was thinking about that earlier. The first 2 goals this evening, the goalkeeper's got to take quite a bit of the blame. Judging by what we've seen the rest of this evening, I think the Sockers still had plenty of goals in them, regardless of the favors from Escobar early on.
Stolen away by Escoto. How badly does he want to score against his old club?
How badly does he want to, get Pardo a touch and play a long back pass?
Martin gets it back to his keeper.
Scotty Martin wants a goal.
This one flicked back to Escobar. Sockers want to pass back, and they're going to get it.
I don't know about that.
I think they're in the right.
A couple of Baja players trying to say there was a deflection there. Just don't know if there was full intent involved in that. But yours truly and Mark Serber, we've disagreed before. We'll disagree again. It happens from time to time.
Toulouse leaves it off for Childs. Back to Toulouse. Childs wants it again. Instead, Toulouse plays it in, was looking for the tap-in from LSO. And Toulouse will circle back with it.
Oh.
Gorgeous one-touch soccer from the Sockers. And almost led to another goal for Craig Childs.
The one-touch Sockers.
I like it.
A good band name.
Oliveira. Childs. The block comes in from Luna.
The One Touch Sockers are a band that plays very short songs.
Gutierrez with a little space to run. Spotted Pardo off his line, but clips it wide. Sockers continue to stroke the ball around. Cerda loses it along the boards. Luna will bring it forward for Atletico Baja. Final 8.5 minutes of their season. Well, the good news for Baja, despite finishing with what should be 2 losses, they will be in the playoffs starting on March 8th at home against Solis de Sonora.
Yeah.
The winner of that series will face off against the winner of the soccer series with either Tacoma or Ontario.
I hate to sound too fearful if I'm thinking of it from a Tijuana point of view, an Atletico Baja point of view, I should say, but if they play like this against Solis de Sonora, I mean, no disrespect to the Soccer's offensive prowess. They're one of the best attacking teams in this entire league, but the Soles are just filled with firepower. They're as hot as the sun when it comes to attacking in indoor soccer.
Tovar, perfectly measured ball off the boards. Claire overtakes off the feet of Vaquero. Tovar posting up inside. Comes across to Velez. El Vaquero can't beat his man, and a 2-on-1 developing on this near side. It's opened up that route for Lara. Pardo comes out to stick him.
Pardo hasn't had a whole lot to do this evening. That was a kind of a funky one there. He did just enough.
Velez perfectly placed. Childs across. That is a gorgeous team goal. Defense to attack in a flash. Matt Clare has his second of the evening.
That was one of the most delightful things I've seen this season. That entire sequence from Pardo coming out, doing just enough as the keeper. Defense to attack in the blink of an eye. Craig Childs, it's like he's always one step ahead of everybody in the building. No different there. Saw Clare streaking. We call him the one-touch Sockers here in this game. Craig Childs heads it back across the face of goal, and Matt Clare puts it in from close range. What a night for this team. What a way to make it 11-1. That was absolutely gorgeous.
And just listen to this crowd. Somebody clip that goal and put it on Twitter. That is as good as an arena goal as you will see.
Brilliant, just brilliant. You know, to finish up on that thought from a few moments ago, Mark, you see this effort this evening from Atletico Baja. You see the breakdowns defensively for this team. I'm just thinking about this team playing in Hermosillo. I'm thinking about this team playing on that field against that team in Hermosillo. If the Sockers are putting up 11 on them here at the Valley View Casino Center, I mean, God only knows how much Soles could be putting up on them. And maybe this could be that type of blessing in disguise for Baja, that ultimate wake-up call to know that this stuff just ain't going to fly in the playoffs, especially against that team down in Sonora.
Well, and there's two things. The playoffs are a whole new season. You can throw
beast.
everything out the window. And second, in Rene Ortiz, you have a former San Diego Sockers, an absolute indoor legend who knows the game inside and out. If anybody can fix it, it's Rene Ortiz.
Couldn't agree more. And again, you got to sometimes search for positives in the seas of negativity. That's exactly what Renee's going to be tasked with, and maybe even, again, using the negatives to kind of flip the script and turn the whole thing on its head, because this team needs a wake-up call. Soles de Sonora are going to embarrass them if they're to play like this in that first-round playoff series. The Sockers pretty much embarrassed them this evening.
And I think it's important to remember that the Sockers are doing this without their leaders, Zé Roberto, without Queiroz. We'll get back into that, as that was a hard foul.
A bad foul.
And exactly what you don't need in these final two games.
Silly, just silly.
So the Sockers will go on the power play, as it's a Scoto. And when you're a player that dribbles and beats men one-on-one the way you do, you're going to get hacked down. And Escoto knows that. He's a tough customer. He's up and onto the bench. But they're doing this without Zé Roberto, who's being rested tonight.
Right.
Without Brian Farber rested tonight.
And without
Queiroz suspended tonight. And you also have Phil Salvaggio, who's going to have a very tough decision when Chris Toth comes back from national team duty. What is he going to do with the way Pardo's been playing? And you have Toth, who, despite his absence, continues to be number one in save percentage and goals against average.
That is a tough question to answer.
And a great headache to have.
Yeah, a great headache to have. I'm sure how much Pardo wants to think about it.
Sockers 1-for-1 on the power play this evening.
You know, they say you should never lose your job to injury. And it's not Toth losing his job to injury. If it were to be Pardo sticking with it, Salvaggio sticking with Pardo, it would be Toth losing the starting job for being a full international with the U.S. beach squad. I don't think that's fair to Chris Toth. Look out here.
And Oliveira wins the free kick. That one inside the arc. And these are starting to be a bit of more frustration fouls from Baja. They're going in a bit harder.
Well, and LSO's got to keep his head here. He's such an emotional player, but you see him shoulder checking Baja players. Got to be the bigger man in this situation. Look, I'm not the coach of this team. I never will be the coach of this team. But for me, if Chris Toth comes back and is ready to play, I feel like Chris Toth has to be the guy to start in the playoffs.
Claire looking for his hat trick.
And that's no disrespect to Boris Pardo. Pardo's been outstanding since taking over in the absence of Toth. I just think with everything that Toth has done for this team, with the story of Toth being around last year and going through the motions last year with this Sockers team and everything that he put in, trying to get this team back to the promised land, the quest for 15, all that's gone into it, everything that Toth has offered. I feel like if Toth comes back and is ready to go, I think it's got to be Chris Toth for playoff time. And that's just me. Again, I'm not the coach of this team. I never will be the coach of this team. I don't envy Phil Salvaggio in the slightest to have to make that decision. Mark, you call it a good headache to have, but it's such a difficult decision. And much of the reason why it's so difficult is because how great Pardo's been since coming in.
This one rolled off the boards and over the head of Oliveira.
I mean, if Pardo comes in and is just average, it's an easy decision. You say, oh, as soon as Toth's back, you get Chris, you get the big tall guy from Fallbrook right back in between the pipes, but big man from Queens is not making that an easy decision.
Gonzalez keeps it alive for the Sockers. Played a cross in between two white jerseys. And the penalty's over. Gutierrez is out of the box if they can find him. Rojo still going. He gets it out wide to the other flank.
I was just thinking as Pardo collects this one, what I said moments ago, that may have been the first time in history that Queens and Fallbrook have been used in the same geographical-based sentence.
Plenty of firsts here at the San Diego Sockers.
3,000 miles apart, a world's difference in the city's makeups, but tied together with the goalkeeping core of the San Diego Sockers. The borough of Queens and the city of Fallbrook here in Southern California.
Final 4 minutes at the Valley View Casino Center. A venue that has been a fortress for the San Diego Sockers. They will finish the regular season 9-1 at home. Gonzalez flying forward and almost picking out the far corner.
Off the post. That one hit the post. So much of the crowd, some of the crowd I should say, getting to file for the exits here and beat the rush out. Haven't gotten an official number, but we're getting from some of the soccer staff that over 6,000 were inside this building tonight. That is just fantastic stuff for this Sockers organization.
And well-deserved, and these players have put on a show for them.
And we're hoping that 6,000 or maybe more are back for that playoff match on March 12th. And again, if playoff soccer and these SD Sockers and the way they play, the show they put on ain't enough for you for some crazy reason, Landon Donovan at halftime, part of that celebrity game on March the 12th. Cannot wait for March 12th, Mark.
Well, that's going to be great. Toulouse battling in the corner. Sockers looking for 3/4 a shutout ball in this game against Atletico Baja. Looking to improve to 13-6 on the season. We'll finish the regular season on March 4th at Tacoma. Very well, might just stay up there for the playoffs depending on the outcome. Galbraith Knapp runs into the corner. San Diego native making his second appearance of the season for the Sockers. Velez cuts inside. Off the boards by Ramon Ramirez. And back to Pardo. Final 2 minutes at home in the regular season for the San Diego Sockers. They were about 1 minute and 37 seconds away from going undefeated at home.
Oh.
Just that one blip on the radar in the 6-5 loss against the Kansas City Comets. Cerda will be whistled for having the arm extended.
Correct me if I'm wrong, was that actually a 7-6 loss to KC there? Sorry to
I was trying to just let it go.
There.
I was just trying to let it
You
go.
know I can't let those things go, Mark, because you're so perfect all the time. I never get the chance to correct you. The reason why I say that is because I remember that comeback from the Sockers that evening, coming back from 5-1 down in that fourth quarter. 5 straight goals to make it 6-5,
yep.
and then KC scoring 2 in that final 90 seconds. What a game that was. That was one of the best games we've seen all year, and again, a bitter pill to swallow that night for the Sockers, and especially now almost thinking back to it, because if it wasn't for that game, you're talking 10-0 at home, but 9-1 ain't too shabby.
Which would have been 10-0 for the second time in 3 seasons.
Indeed.
But talk about improvement once again. They were 7-3 here last year, now 9-1. So all signs pointing in the right direction.
Looks like you're 9-1 on your stats tonight.
Pretty much. Oh, and still getting back to make the defensive plays. This time it was Cerda. Inside the final minute, Baja will end their season 10-10. San Diego will improve to 13-6 with 1 game left. Both teams headed to the playoffs, but contrasting fortunes going into the new season. The Sockers, a real stylish finish to their home portion of the schedule here at the Valley View Casino Center. The crowd expected a show, and the Sockers gave them one almost flawless, with the exception of that 1 goal scored by Atletico Baja in the 3rd quarter.
Goal that made the score 6-1. I mean, Sockers were in cruise control from beginning to end this evening.
And a 2-on-1. Can they finish with a flourish? Claire, Childs, wide. San Diego wins 11-1 over Atletico Baja behind a 6-point night from Craig Childs. 4 goals, 2 assists for the captain, and 3 goals for Luan Salas Oliveira as the Sockers finish the home portion of the 2016-2017 MASL schedule with a record of 9-1. Atletico Baja finishes their season at 10-10. They will now turn their attentions to the Southwest Division playoffs against Solis de Sonora on March 8th. For the San Diego Sockers, 1 more match in the regular season as they head to Tacoma on March 4th. But for now, it finishes San Diego 11, Atletico Baja de Tijuana 1. Final thoughts, Nate Abarea.
What a fantastic night for the San Diego Sockers. Not only the players on the field, the coaches on the bench and in the locker room, for the fans in this building and for this entire organization, all the staff members, for us as broadcasters, everybody involved with this night. What an evening here at the Valley View Casino Center. From the national anthems to the play itself to just the environment inside this building, this is a great, great advert for this club and a great reason for everybody to come back on March the 12th for that playoff affair against either Ontario or Tacoma. Cheers to Craig Childs for the 6-point night. Without a doubt, the man of the match this evening. And cheers to you, Mark Serber, for another fine evening of play-by-play.
Well, Nate, great job as always. Thank you so much for joining us. And we will be back with you on March 12th. But I still think, considering it's the end of the home part of the regular season, we do need to give a great thank you to our production staff, who has been phenomenal. Ross Callan, Dave Evenson, Duarte Andrade, who helps us out doing the stats, and Ian Cook, the director of marketing and communications, and to everybody at the MASL YouTube channel for one last time in the regular season, but not the last time this season. It's Mark Serber signing off for me and Nate Abaret at the Valley View Casino Center, where San Diego runs rampant with an 11-1 win over Atletico Baja.
Hi, thanks for checking out American Spa and Pool Pros. We provide liability insurance for pool service professionals. Whether your business is pool repair, builders, remodelers, plasterers, or just about any service for swimming pools, we have a plan for you. Our customers love us, and they keep coming back year after year. We're licensed to insure your pool business in more states than any other pool service association in America. We offer great coverage and competitive rates. There's a flexible plan that's perfect to protect your business and your livelihood. Have a question? Just ask. We look forward to you becoming a member of ASAPP today.
I'm Stephanie, and I'm a San Diego State student, and I am a Cal Coast member. I would honestly consider the people who work at Cal Coast my friends. Like when I'm walking up, they're smiling and still respectful, really kind, but they're just happy and they really seem happy to be doing their job. Book skills are important, but they're temporary. Life skills are forever. So what Cal Coast teaches me with handling my money, I'm going to know that and use that for the rest of my life.
Blew out my ACL.
Pulled my shoulder out.
Broke my collarbone. I had a Liz Frank injury.
You play long enough and it's going to happen to you.
I heard a lot of good things about UC San Diego health system.
The hospital, the doctors.
Gave me a lot of confidence going into the surgery.
A good experience for me.
I was able to get back to the sports I love.
It's always nice to relate to a doctor when they've been an athlete.
I wouldn't trust anybody else with my knee.